Libra, this is Joanna from Tarot with Joanna, here to do another reading. Hello, hello, hello. So Libra, in today's reading, I'm going to give you two of the Denise Lynn Oracle cards, do your reading, and then clarify it. So let us get started. Whenever you see the reading, any of my readings, whether they're old or new or whatever, you know, it was meant for something to be there for you. It was some kind of guidance, so just know it'll be the right time to see it, okay? Doesn't matter on the date. All right, so Libra, let's see what's going on in your reading. Take what resonates with you and leave the rest. This is for Libra, for the highest good. Two cards for Libra. Good. All right. So you have crossing bridges. It's time for healing, connecting, mending, and releasing. Wow. So you're really going to go through a lot of healing right now. If you're feeling the emotional, feeling a lot of things coming up to the surface, you know, it's because you're trying to heal. Your soul is trying to heal within. So just know that, you know, everybody's going through it. So just know that you're not alone. Everybody's going through it. And then you have staying focused. Hold the course. So really try to focus on everything that's going on in your life, okay? That means everything, you know, your home, your family, your kids, your parents, your everyone, you know, try to be focused and keep everything like, you know, sometimes we're not focused enough that we're missing out on, you know, we're not really seeing the problems with our kids, or we're not really seeing the problems with our home, you know, and it's like, wow, why didn't I see it? You know, sometimes you get to that point where you're like, why didn't I see it? Why did I not see it? Okay, so they're asking you to really stay focused. Wow, that just came out of me. All right, so Libra, take what resonates with you, Libra, and leave the rest. This is going to be for Libra spirit. All righty, here we go. One for the current, one for the situation, one for the past. One for what's hidden. Came into your own reading. One for the hopes and fears. Wow. Okay. One for what you need to do now. What you need to work on. Wow. And the outcome. All right. So, you know, you've been going through a lot, you know, just by seeing the cards and feeling everything that's coming through, you've been going through a lot. You're very disconnected. You have the Four of Cups here. You're very disconnected. You need to start taking care of yourself more. You know, you're neglecting yourself a lot. You've been hurt, tired, very restless with the Five of Pentacles here. Been disappointed. You're disappointed whether it's in yourself or somebody else. You're disappointed. You're trying to make plans. You know, you need to find your patience and your calmness. You're at a crossroads right now, trying to figure things out. You know, it's like for some reason you don't want to see a lot. There's a lot of stuff here that you don't want to see. You know, you're worried about your finances, and I also feel like with the Eight of Wands down here, I feel like there's going to be unexpected change and messages coming through. And then with the Justice card here, it is your card. So this is definitely something in this reading for you, Libra. My goodness. Try to keep everything balanced, you know. All right. So you do have the Two of Swords, the Two of Wands, the King of Pentacles, and I'm sorry, I did all that differently, right? Because that's what they were telling me to do, to explain it to you. So let's clarify the cards right now and see what's going on, Libra. All right, Libra. Let's see what's going on. Libra. I am a Libra in rising, so not my rising, my moon sign. Wow, it's just crazy. Like all this is coming in. I hope it's like what's going on here? Okay, so let us see. All right, my fellow Libras, let's see what's going on. Clarify the Two of Wands and take what resonates with you, Libra, and leave the rest. Why is a Two of Wands here for Libra? Wow. All right, so you do have the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is talking about, you're trying to make plans to move forward, and you really need to find your patience for things. You really, really need to find your patience. With the Four of Pentacles here, I feel like you're really holding on tightly to everything, to the past. You're letting your ego get in your way, okay? And I'm not trying to be like mean. I'm just trying to tell you what the cards are saying and what the spirits are saying, okay? You're holding on to the past very, very tightly. You're very stubborn. It's like almost as if you don't want to budge from leaving it behind. You're holding on to, everything that's been happening, everything that has been said, you're holding on to it, and it's like sometimes you just need to let it go, okay? You need to really, really let it go, okay? They're asking you to save money also, but you really need to let go of this past, let go of this stubbornness that you have, okay? Because it's not going to do you any good. You're going to hold on to it so tightly that you're going to forget what had happened, and you're going to be like, why am I so pissed off? Why am I mad? You can't go around living like that, holding on to regrets, to egos, to what they said, she said, he said, they said, because it doesn't make any sense. you know really let that go, really try to let go of that past, okay? And then you have the Queen of Swords here. And the Queen of Swords, she's very strong-willed, and that's you. That's you. That's you, Libra. You're very strong. You know how to handle yourself. You know how to be blunt. You know how to tell it like it is, right? You're very strong. But this is what's happening. You're holding on to something that's making you very, very upset, very furious, and it's like, it's okay to be like this. It's okay to be strong-willed. It's okay to be, I'm going to tell you like it is, but you hold on to so much, and you need to really let that go. Really try your best to let that go. They're asking you to speak your truth about things also. I feel like there's something that you've been holding on to that you haven't been able to let go. And I feel like you really are wanting to speak some kind of truth. All right, Libra. So then you have the Two of Swords here. And why is the Two of Swords in the situation here? Why is the Two of Swords here? There is some kind of decision that you're there's contemplating. I feel with the two of Swords, I feel like you're at a standstill, and I feel like you're trying to contemplate some kind of decision, but they're asking you to take off that blindfold to really see things for what they really are, okay? Instead of, what you're thinking, or really of what anybody said. Really look at everything and really take off that blindfold so you can make these decisions correctly. I feel like you're trying to go in a different direction. You're trying to go in a different direction here. I feel like you need to find your patience, to be calm about things, to keep everything balanced, in your home, in your family, in your work. Try to keep in yourself, especially your mentality, your emotions, your the way you sleep, the way you eat, the way you're thinking, you need to really look at that and change, okay? Change things. Because it's in your mind a lot. You're in your mind a lot, constantly thinking about everything. You are on the right path. You're going through a healing. I feel like you're going through a healing. You have the Two of Pentacles here. The Two of Pentacles is talking about that, you're juggling everything. You're trying to do everything. You're trying to change everything all at once, and you need to let everything just come in on its own. Okay, stop forcing things, stop trying to control things, just do what you need to do. I feel like you're still definitely contemplating a decision, and you're trying to go in a different direction also. It's time to take it easy also, because you're in your mind a lot, and I feel like it is, like you're in your mind constantly. And then you have the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is talking about, being an entrepreneur, having wealth, having, abundance here. I do feel like there is something coming in for you, like some kind of abundance, but it's more of a financial worry. I feel like you're worried about your finances, and I feel like you're constantly thinking about that also, and it is in the past, so we're going to keep it in the past. You have the Justice card, which is your card, Libra. And why is the Justice card here? On my card, wow. You are going through a lot right now. You are definitely, wow, yeah. Okay, so you do have the Justice card here. That's your card. You came into your own reading, so something here in this reading is about you. Okay, so you're going through a lot of emotions, and you're going to continue to keep going through these emotions because you're going through a healing. You're definitely at a healing. You're at a crossroads right now, and you're healing. It's like you're kind of like have to deal with all these emotions that are coming up, the pain, the anger, the and it's because you need to deal with all these emotions that are coming through. Like, why is it that you feel angry? Why are you so emotional? Like, ask yourself that. Write it in a journal. If you can't talk to anybody, then write it in a journal to yourself. I always write it in a journal, and I always talk to God. You could do that, or talk to somebody that you're missing, or a loved one that's not there. Talk to them. Because trust me, it helps a lot. This is just a something that I do, and I'm not a psychiatrist, but I don't go to a psychiatrist either. But if I journal, I get a lot of insight on a lot of things because I look at it and I release a lot of emotions. You could be sitting there and you can start crying. But you are very angry. You're very frustrated. You're very angry. Your emotions are going to be very high. You're going to be emotional. You're going to be upset. You're going to be feeling that hurt. They're saying that you're going through a healing right now, but that you need to let these emotions come up to the surface, and you need to keep them balanced. Okay, keep everything balanced. Things are going to get better for you. Things are going to fall into place for you, but it's just something that you have to go through because it's like you didn't want to see it before. You didn't want to see anything before. And now the universe is saying, hey, well, now it's time to see it now. It's time because you kept avoiding it. You kept not wanting to deal with these emotions, to see why were you hurt so much? Why were you so angry so much? It's like questions like this that bring up all this stuff, and you got to ask yourself, why do I feel so angry towards this person? Why do I feel so hurt when I see this person? Why do I have so much anger inside me? Because there's a reason why. There is a reason why. And they're asking you to really look at that, okay? Because you're still holding on to a lot of anger here, Libra. But you have the Justice card. The Justice card is saying that things are going to fall into place for you. They are, but this is something that you have to go through. This is something that we all have to go through. Remember, I always say, we go through things because they're lessons. Whether it was a good lesson or a bad lesson, we still learn from it. There's something there that you're going to learn from. Trust me. And then you have the Eight of Wands here. And why is the Eight of Wands here in the hopes and fears? One more card. Yeah, there it is. There's that Eight of Wands. Wow. So you do have the Judgment card here. The Judgment is talking like I said, you're going through this rebirth, because you're changing things in you. Things are changing. Things are going to change very, very soon. So remember that. You're going to go through a big transformation. If you're not going through it right now, you will very soon. So just know that. There is definitely a lot of unexpected changes coming through. You're moving forward. You're going to be moving forward, definitely. Don't be so defensive, okay? Try not to be so defensive towards people, Don't try to be like, oh, no, that kind of thing. Like, no, I don't think so. Don't try to be like that. Not everybody is out there to get you. Not everybody is in the same situation. So really, don't try not to be like that, okay? Don't be so defensive, Let people help you. If they want to help you, let them help you. You know, they're asking you to believe in yourself, that you can keep going and continue to go forward. Okay, if you're going through all these feelings, that you're hurt, that you're frustrated, that you're angry, you know, it's because you're healing. Like I said, you're going through a healing, a big time healing. You're at a crossroads right now where you're like trying to figure things out. What's my next move? Where am I going to go? Where am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? How am I going to go over here? You know, how am I going to do this? Things are going to change for you big time. So just remember that. You have the Four of Cups. And why is the Four of Cups here? One more card. Wow. All right. So, you know, they want you to really start focusing, okay? Because you have this card here, and this card is saying that, you know, there are times when you're very disconnected, not really paying attention to things, and you really need to start doing that, okay? Really focus and start paying attention, whether it's your home, your family, your kids, your significant other. Really pay attention, okay? Look at things. Look what's around you. Look what's everything that's going on, okay? I do feel like you are definitely, there's definitely going to be financial opportunities for you. I feel like you're going to be learning something new, and I also feel like there's unexpected messages coming through. So be prepared for that. I feel like you really need to use your finances wisely, and I feel like you need to start saving money, okay? You do have the Two of Cups here. The Two of Cups is talking about there could be some kind of offer coming in for you, which is really nice. Could be also a decision. There could be some kind of attraction here going on also. But I also feel like I just feel like there's a decision, and you really are disconnected because of something that's going on in your life. Could have been a relationship, or maybe you're really thinking about your relationship and you're trying to make a decision about it. Okay, so, wow. They're asking you to be really focused on things, okay? And then you have the Queen of Pentacles here. Sorry about that, you guys. Oh, okay. And why is the Queen of Pentacles here for the... Oh, nice. Oh. Okay. Sorry. So you do have the Queen of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles is talking about nurturing yourself. It's in the, you need to work on this. So this is really take care of yourself. Start taking care of yourself, your mind, your body, your soul. Take care of it, okay? You only have one life here, okay? So you really need to start taking care of it. You're trying to juggle everything. Trying to juggle the house, the family, the payments, you know, whatever it is. So you're trying to juggle everything. You know, it's time to start taking care of yourself, especially your mind, emotionally and physically. You're supposed to take care of yourself, okay? And emotionally is very, very important, because it's how you're thinking and what you're thinking. Go within, try to go within, try to, you know, clear your mind, go for walks, you know, exercise, whatever it is. Try to meditate, okay? Because you need to shift your mindset and think positive in everything. The sun is shining on you. So why are you feeling so down, so negative, okay? So they want you to, so disconnected. They want you to think positive in everything, you know, let the good come in, let everything fall into its place, and stop fighting it, is what they're saying. You know, don't be in your mind so much about things, you know. There's a lot here that you're going through. Wow. And then you have the Five of Pentacles. And why is the Five of Pentacles here? One more card. Wow. Okay. So you do have the Five of Pentacles, and like I said, you know, you're disappointed. You've been hurt, you know. You've been hurt, you're disappointed, you know, you've been let down, you know, you feel alone. You feel isolated, you feel alone, like, wow, you know. But, you know, being alone is a good thing. You know, you think that it's not, but it is. You know, good comes from being alone, because you're in your thoughts. You're in your thoughts, but you find out these answers. You find out the answers that you want. You're not going to be like this all the time. You know, you're not, this is just temporary. A lot of you guys feel like you're not going to have enough finances. Remember, this is just temporary. It's not going to be forever. Remember, you're a go-getter. You can overcome anything. You know, Libras are like that. They can overcome anything. You know, they think they're smart, they're, you know, resilient, you know, they know how to do things, trust me, and you will too. You do have the Nine of Cups asking you to be grateful. Have more gratitude. You know, be grateful for everything that you have, big or small. Be grateful. You know, things could be so different, and they're asking you to be grateful. And then you have the Emperor, and they're asking you, they're telling you that, you know, you have stability. You're very strong-willed. You know, you're very wise, very smart. You're gonna be able to handle this and anything that comes towards you. You know, this is just a transition that you're going through. Things have to go through, you have to go through all this, feeling the way you're feeling, doing the things you're doing, because it's something that you needed to see, something that you didn't want to deal with before, and now you are. Okay, so just remember that. Wow. All right, Libra, so I hope you enjoyed this reading. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. God bless.